Hello everyone, it's me Melissa and we're inside of the ranting shop today. I'm taking a break from reviewing reality shows and I want to talk about real life topics today. Particularly, I want to talk about pretty privilege, and that was a topic that was of great popularity maybe earlier this year and it died down a lot. However, this is an ongoing issue and it's never gonna be something that ends. So, what sparked me wanting to speak about this was that I was just going through social media, particularly YouTube, and I saw a clip from Lonnie Love, and she was explaining how pretty privilege would not really benefit her, but would benefit somebody that would be considered to be society's level of attractive.
Pretty people do get privileges. We see it all the time. Going on an airline, okay? Mm-hmm. If Garcelle walks in front, all the men go stand up and put her bag. Look, let me walk behind her, bitch. You pick it up and put it up yourself.
And if you go and you scroll down through the comment section, a lot of people, particularly women, were saying, "Oh, Lonnie, you're beautiful, you're pretty. How could you say that? If you say this, you must have low self-esteem," etc., etc. And I just felt like this is the time for me to speak on this. So, what I'm gonna be talking about, because although these women think, "Oh, I'm encouraging her, I'm saying something positive about her, I'm breathing confidence into her and all these things," it may seem positive, but it does more harm than good. And this is what I'm going to try to discuss. Toxic positivity. Okay, so let me just say my complete topic. Pretty privilege and toxic positivity, how they work together to undermine the existence of an attractiveness hierarchy. For a long time, we've lived in this world and there's never been a name to attach to that sort of privilege that somebody who's considered to be very attractive benefits from, that regular people do not benefit from. And I'm happy that we finally came up with a term to be able to analyze and distinguish that from other privileges. And what I noticed specifically from women is that whenever somebody tells you about their story, about them being considered ugly, not attractive, about how men treated them versus how they treated their more attractive friends, women's natural response is to say, "Oh, you just don't have confidence in yourself. You just need to have confidence in yourself because you are pretty, you are beautiful." And when they do that, they might think it's a good thing that they're doing, but it's very dismissive. It's very dismissive to say, "No, you're pretty too." Because what it does is that it's almost like you're putting a band-aid on a deep wound. It's not gonna heal it. It's not gonna diminish the fact that I'm going through what I'm going through despite you telling me that I'm pretty, because the world isn't treating me that way. So I feel like toxic positivity is basically when women, because it's women that do this, and I feel like they feel like it's something that they're doing to uplift other women, but it's actually dangerous because it's almost like it's barricading you from the reality of life. And the reality of life is not that I'm pretty. The reality of life is I'm being treated like I'm an average human being or below average. Nobody's running to pick up my bags. Nobody's running to assist me. Nobody's really staring at me, giving me love eyes. Nobody's saying that I was their love at first sight. I get a lot of perhaps rejection from men if I try to go up to them and start conversations. It is what happens on a day-to-day basis. Now, even though I say I am not referring to myself, but I am referring to somebody that most likely would not benefit from pretty privilege, and to be overly positive or to feel the need to want to overly validate that person and call them pretty is being deceptive to that person's reality. It's being deceptive and it's being dismissive to that person's reality. Okay, so I shall continue. So it's being overly, when women feel the need to be overly nice in order to soothe a perceived insecurity or deficit, it may not be genuine, okay, and is seldom realistic or honest. And it fails to understand or to really be empathetic towards the person's to what the person initially meant, and hence is very dismissive of their reality, because everyone is beautiful, smart, awesome, whatever the case may be, is a fairy tale. Everybody is not beautiful according to societal standards. Everyone is not pretty. Everyone is not 5'10". Everybody does not have a perfectly symmetrical face. Everybody does not have long natural hair. Everybody does not have the desired skin tone. Everybody does not have perfect skin. Everybody does not have blue, green, red, whatever colored eyes that is considered desirable and exotic. So for people to just feel the need to say, oh no, you're pretty, I just feel like a different approach could be just one of empathy and listening. So when somebody's telling you about their situation with a society that places a lot of emphasis on attractiveness, and there is an attractiveness scale, because I remember Steph Co, if anybody watches Steph Co, if anyone is subscribed to her, she kind of blew up that talk of pretty privilege, and she was giving her honest experiences with not having it and being bullied and being turned down by guys and all these things, and she was at peace with it because she knew that's just my reality. And people in her comment section were like, oh Steph, you just need to have more confidence in yourself, because you are pretty. But even though you try to validate her by telling her these things, it is not the reality of her life. You telling her she's pretty is not gonna suddenly make men more attracted to her. It's not going to make the past that she's experienced vanish and disappear. I just feel like the better approach is just to be quiet and just understand that people don't always have this fairy tale life. Although we like to make it seem like, oh, everybody can have a fairy tale. That is not true. And I would need females particularly to stop doing this, because it is not helping us at all. It is not helping females, women. It's almost like it's feeding this, almost like this sick mindset that everybody is everything. Everybody is pretty, everybody is gorgeous, everybody is handsome, everybody. And that is not true. Because if it was true, there would be no pretty privilege, because everybody would be treated equally. But we know that's not true. We know that's not true. Toxic positivity is something that should be spoken more of, because the more it happens, the more it tends to take us away from the reality of life and the reality of living in general. And I understand why it's being done, but it's the result of it is not a positive result. Because then, if I'm going through some type of depression trying to figure out, oh, why am I not getting this and getting that? And you tell me, oh, it's because of this or this or that. Now I'm looking at it as, okay, well, if you say I'm pretty, then why am I not getting A, B, C, and D like this other person is? It's almost like you're making them more confused. You're not adding to the clarity. You're not adding clarity to their lives, only confusion, if anything. And I just need people to be able to understand the difference between understanding and being empathetic towards somebody and their situations versus wanting to cover their past situations and their past life experiences with niceties as if it's going to help. It's not going to help. It's going to hurt. Because as far as I'm concerned, if I'm telling you about my life struggles and your responses, oh, it's not because you were not pretty, or you're very pretty. How is that gonna help me? Because a lot of people are like, oh, you just need to have a certain level of confidence. That's not true. I understand that there's nice people in the world and they'll treat you well despite how you look. I do understand that. But I also understand that some people treat you how you look. A lot of the time, do you think people look at vagrants and treat them with the utmost respect? Do you think that when you see somebody that has a severe disability, do you look at them and think that they're the most gorgeous person in the world? It's possible that you do think that, but you're thinking that because you feel the need to overly compensate by saying nice things to that person because you know that society is not gonna treat them very well. But that is not gonna prevent society from not treating them very well. And that's the thing. So I think that's all I have to say about that. Let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna be posting pictures of Miss Garcelle Beauvais, Miss Fancy from the Jamie Foxx show. And I'm also gonna post a picture of Lonnie Love. And you guys tell me what you think. Do you think it's wise to invalidate Lonnie's experience in the name of, oh, women upliftment? Versus if you think a better approach is to sympathize and empathize with what she's gone through and just accept it for how life is. Because life is like that. Life is not a fairy tale. Everybody's not pretty. Everybody's not Garcelle Beauvais. The sooner we come to terms with that, the better for us. So like and subscribe, you guys. Let me know what you think and see you next time. Bye.